Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 271 of our trip around the United States. We made it into Scott City last night, exactly where we wanted to be to start our day today. For today's route, we have 350 miles to cover, basically right through the center of Kansas, working our way here from Scott City all the way east until we get to Emporia. Now, we missed the Delorme challenge a couple of days ago, and we are not going to leave the state without getting another try at that thing. For the most part, it's on our route, but when we get to McPherson, we do have to detour back up north about 40 miles and then back down south again about another 40 miles. That means that our 350 mile route is much closer to 430 miles. That's fine. If we don't finish in Emporia tonight, we'll make up the time difference in a couple of days anyway. But we have to make it by 5 p.m. which means that the name of the game today is speed all the way through. Anything that's going to be time consuming, probably going to get cut. What we do know that we have on the list today that does not look time consuming are some of the Santa Fe Geotrail geocaches, some of the great virtuals on the list that look like they're going to bring us to really interesting spots, and of course, the Veterans Memorials. I'm looking forward to what this day of Kansas has in store for us, and more importantly, I'm looking forward to putting my name on the logbook for the Delorme Challenge and putting a check in that box. So let's make sure we make it by 5, and let's see what today has in store. Come on, let's go.
Welcome to Scott City, the county seat of Scott County with a population of just over 4,000 people. Founded in 1855, the city, just like the county, is named for U.S. General Winfield Scott, commanding general of the United States Army from 1841 to 1861. He fought not only in the War of 1812, but also the Mexican-American War and in the early stages of the Civil War. Those who served under him called him the Grand Old Man of the Army, or, where nobody could hear, Old Fuss and Feathers because of his insistence on proper military etiquette. General Scott even made a run for the U.S. presidency, receiving the Whig Party's nomination for the 1852 election. Unfortunately, though, he was defeated by the Democrat, Franklin Pierce. A ways down the road, we come into Ness City, the county seat of Ness County, with a population of just over 1,300 people. Founded in 1878, the city did not really expand until the railroad arrived in 1886, and then it grew a little bit. After checking in at the county courthouse, we strolled just down the road to visit the Veterans Memorial and Park, dedicated on November 12th of 2012. The memorial is comprised of 2 black tablets encircled by a series of tablets bearing the names of veterans who have served. The back of the black tablets bear an honor roll of veterans who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the War on Terror. The markers bear the famous quote, "All gave some gave all." The inscription reads, "We, the people of Ness County, with grateful hearts honor those who have served and sacrificed for our great nation. To those who proudly served, we owe our freedom. We dedicate this memorial to them, ensuring that their efforts will never be forgotten. America shall remain the land of the free, only so long as it is the home of the brave. Thank you, veterans." Upon leaving Ness City, we found ourselves geocaching through the snow.
These kind of road conditions make me particularly nervous because with the rain, it would just soak in and then dry out over a day or two. But with the snow, it steadily melts in. So the ground becomes really soft and wants to grab your tires immediately. But there's not other county options out here, so we're taking the road and hoping for the best.
Fortunately, this road was the worst off of any we had come across all day long. Once we got off this stretch, it was much easier going from there. Ai-chan had a lot of energy this morning, so each time we would reach a new ground zero, she would get out and help me in the hunt. Most of what we encountered was beyond her ability to retrieve, but that did not stop her from trying to help me in the hunt nevertheless. Each time she saw me make the find, she would immediately come over to investigate to see what it is she had missed. I figured the least I could do is show her what the geocache was and let her get the smell, so maybe next time she can track it down instead. Our trail of finds through the snow-dotted landscape eventually led us into Larned, the county seat of Pawnee County with a population of about 3,700 people. Receiving its first post office in 1872, the city is named for the nearby Fort Larned, which was in operation from 1859 to 1878. We would only make one stop off in town, though, along the banks of the Pawnee River at the site that Samuel Parker had established as a trading ranch all the way back in 1864. With little remaining today, beside the natural beauty of the area, it wasn't long at all before we were on our way to the next destination at Pawnee Rock. The city itself is small, with less than 200 people and residents, but it serves as the gateway to the Pawnee Rock State Historic Site. A longtime meeting place of the Comanche, Kiowa, Arapaho, and Cheyenne Indians, this is one of the most well-known landmarks on the Santa Fe Trail. The rock itself rises about 60 feet above the surrounding plains, providing an astounding view of the Arkansas River Valley and the Santa Fe Trail below. At the top of the rise, beyond the picnic area, along the edges of the pergola, the monument standing out above the landscape gives you a sense of the importance of this stop along the Santa Fe Trail. Upon close inspection of some of the brown sandstone, you may notice the faded names of traders, soldiers, and immigrants who stopped here along their route and carved their names into the stone. Halfway between Missouri and Santa Fe, this served as an ideal camping spot as it did afford some protection against Indian attacks with a view of the surrounding areas. Ironically, it was also considered one of the most dangerous places on the Central Plains because the Indians, knowing that it was a preferred stop, would often lie in wait to spring an ambush. Not that I have to worry about something like that though, knowing that Aichan always has my back. Following the scenic byway into Great Bend, we come in for a landing at the B-29 Memorial Plaza. The memorial was built to honor the sacrifices made by people in the past to ensure freedom for future generations. It is built in a way that, standing inside of the arches, will give one the feeling of being inside the B-29, peering out through the windows of the nose. A great way to honor an integral piece of our nation's military history. We continue down the road from there into Ellenwood, but with no geocaches in town at all, we shoot right through until we reach Lyons, the county seat of Rice County with a population of about 3,600 people. Originally founded as Atlanta in 1870, the city was renamed to Lyons in 1876 in honor of Freeman J. Lyons. The city was officially incorporated in 1880 when the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway built a line connecting into the city. Our primary targets in the city were the pair of virtuals centered on the county courthouse. One introduces you to the statue located just outside the main entrance, while the other brings you to this Veterans Memorial to check out the time capsule at the base. With ample time still remaining on the clock, we find ourselves coming into the city of McPherson, the county seat of McPherson County with a population of about 14,000 people. Founded in 1870 by a dozen members of the McPherson Town Company, the city is named after Union General James Birdseye McPherson. As a general during the Civil War, he served on the staff of Henry Halleck and later with Ulysses Grant during the Battle of Shiloh. Facing off against the army of a former classmate, General John Hood of the Confederacy, he was killed during the Battle of Atlanta, becoming the second highest ranking Union officer killed in action during the Civil War. The statue of General McPherson, sitting proudly on his mount, guarding the entrance to the courthouse and Memorial Park, has been gracing these grounds for over 100 years. Although our stop in McPherson was relatively short, knowing that we needed to get up to Salina to sign off on the Delorme Challenge, we couldn't help ourselves but to stop off at the county courthouse, explore the Veterans Memorials, and work our way through this little piece of Kansas history. Before reaching the Delorme Challenge final, we made just one quick stop in Salina by the AV flight line for a relatively new virtual that gives you a history of aviation in the area.
Check that out. Success. The Delorme Challenge final, and what a beautiful log this thing is too. A nice cut piece of wood. Every finder's on there through time. Now we just need to actually earn our place on here. We've got about 5 more days in Kansas, and the pages so far have been lining up. Let's hope it continues to do so. Onward and upward.
What a relief. With that done, we can just focus on getting the remaining geocaches we need to count the counties and pages to close out our route for the day. There were plenty of geocache options for us to choose from here, so we chose to seek out some of the biggest that we could find. And we were happy to discover that each and every one of them was more than large enough to hold quite a bit of swag. And just like that, the light is fading, and another day in Kansas is coming to a very quick end.
All right, it looks like that is the end of another day spent out here on the road in Kansas. We began this morning in Scott City, and from there, we have basically had an eastward trek all day long to make it to Emporia. We had to make a detour up to Salina to grab the Delorme Challenge Final, and we had to be there by 5 o'clock. So we kind of rushed through our day, but not only did we end up making it to Salina in time to sign on that logbook, we actually managed to finish our day out just where we want to be, right outside of Emporia, ready to get staged for another day coming up tomorrow. And all we had to do to get there was give up a couple of hours of extra sleep last night. I will take it to ensure that we are complete when we get to the end of this state. It's been a good day. The geocaches we targeted were either very fast or good geocaches. We've had many great views along the way, and in general, I've enjoyed our eastward trek along the state. Most importantly though, I'm always happy when I can finish a day on time where I want to be, especially when I started the day thinking that I was going to end up behind schedule. I will take the win on that one. Thank you guys for joining us on this adventure as we continue to trek eastward across the center of Kansas. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.